The original vision of the GoPro Motorplex was to build a facility that tens of thousands of people could enjoy.
It was always in my mind that, we're in the headquarters of motorsports. Surely there's got to be a kart track around here that we can go drive, and really there wasn't.
When I moved over here to race NASCAR, I was always trying to find other racetrack where I could go and practice and train. Karting is definitely the best way for a race car driver to practice his skills.
Really how it started is Justin came to the kart track with me a few times, and I sort of laid out like, wouldn't it be great if we didn't have to drive 2 hours to make a few laps in a kart? And he said, yeah, that'd be awesome. And, what do you think? And I said, well, let's try to build something here.
And those first notes were on a napkin in that restaurant, and I think we just decided, let's just pursue this thing, because if there's a way to pull this off, it could be a wonderful, wonderful business, not just for the Charlotte market, but for racing as a whole in North America.
We drew out all kinds of different concepts and ideas, talked about what it would look like to build a karting facility.
Are we going to try to design something ourselves? Are we going to hire a track designer to do something?
Luckily, for me, Justin, he's really the business, he's the smarts. I just wanted to build something awesome where racers would come and enjoy it, and he made sure that it actually was something that that could work as a business model. And we just started the groundwork from there.
We knew if we were going to be the ones that were going to build a go-kart racing facility in Charlotte, North Carolina, we couldn't be those people that came in with a great idea and then built a place that wasn't up to par with expectations. To do this, you had to do this right, and you had to take a risk.
Justin that said, you know what, we have all these friends and all these connections in racing. Let's just go ask everybody what's the coolest track that they've raced at. Everybody said the same thing.
Parma.
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 The mecca of karting.
Parma, it's a track that had a little bit of everything. It had fast stuff, it had slow stuff, it had tricky stuff.
Before being able to go and race in Parma, you had to earn your stripes. You showed up there only if you were ready to be on the track.
We just looked at that layout and we figured, is there a way to take what is built in Parma and build it to the standard of current World Championship karting? I've known Max for a long time, and he was involved very much in this process because he was very, very passionate about seeing this project get done.
As soon as I heard that Justin had an idea about building a proper karting track, my antenna went up, bang, like that. I was able to engage a very good track designer that I know over in Europe that talked to Justin, worked out the details, went over to Parma, lasered the racetrack, I think the week before the track got destroyed.
And then they sent that CAD file to our civil engineers here in Mooresville that essentially laid it on our property, and we had the GoPro Motorplex. In thinking about carrying on the history of Parma, we needed something physical, something tangible. So we ended up buying like 8,000 pounds of the original Parma curbs and shipping them over here to North Carolina. And that original curbing makes up our podium in our victory lane right now. And just to try to hold on to a piece of history and just carry some tangible history with us as the Motorplex writes its own.
I think the GoPro Motorplex track is the most technical, difficult track to drive that I've ever driven with a kart.
This is a great facility to keep people excited about racing, and it allows them an opportunity to drive.
We want people to drive on this racetrack and feel like they just drove in a motorsports event. They drove in a motorsports facility. They didn't go to an entertainment park or a family fun center or anything like that.
I seen the smile of Joe Logano, of William Byron, of Austin Dillon when I took them to the racetrack, when I took them here the first time, and they went like, oof, it's a lot more difficult than I thought. You're not a bodybuilder when you're a race car driver. You're a race car driver. That means you need to practice your motor skills, your visual, your passing ability. And you can do that only on the racetrack. And karting is one of the most affordable way to be able to do it. For an older guy like me, fueling the passion and keeping, my competitive spirit. For younger kids, it's a way for them to improve their skills and measure yourself against time on a racetrack without pressure.
Just to see that spark of passion come back for those guys that haven't been behind the wheel in years and can come out here on a league night and have a ton of fun.
Marco Papis. Being able to take my kids now and have them running on the track, kind of experience the same feel that I had when I was 12 years old, it's something that I will never be able to say thanks enough to Justin to bring these things back.
For me, it's a dream come true to see it and to see families coming out here and doing what I did growing up, and to do it at such a high level. I mean, this is nothing like the kart track I grew up racing at.
This place is born out of the passion of a few people for the sport and wanting to do something meaningful with that passion. And when we look back over the past 5 years, about the number of people that have come here, about where they've come from, the careers that have been started here at the Motorplex, companies that have done events here, it shows that if you do a project that's fundamentally driven by your passion and your desire for something, you can do great things.